It would be easier to convince people that the Pope is the Antichrist.
There's a proud...
What do you call? They're not even thinking about Jesus.
Believe it or not, Justin Trudeau and his father are affiliated with what's called the Club of Rome. After doing just a little bit of research, I found this tiny website that is sponsored by the Club of Rome. This whole initiative about the Titanic and how we don't want to... look at all the references. It looks just like Occupy, you know? It looks just like, well, it's not really protesting. It's more about the idea about what to do and what we should do because, the end of the world's coming and they've been talking about it and there's so much evidence of man-made climate change, so we need to... Anyway, no hate. I try not to have hate for anything that's going on, and you don't want to have hate for any of the Club of Rome. Like, in my mind, I don't like the Club of Rome because of what they stand for. I have no problem with Justin Trudeau, but I have a problem with the Club of Rome for what it stands for. Not necessarily this specific website, but more specifically about the Pope and the papacy and the Inquisition that's still going on today. And through the Second World War, so many people were killed in the name of the one world religion, which is this Jesuit agenda. Anyway, I have a short little poem here about, I don't know, call it Red Team. Red Team, who serves Rome? Pierre Elliott Trudeau swore his tribute to the Club of Rome. Do you know what that is? Do you know about false gods and those who falsely come in the name of something holy? Did you ever think maybe you are not a hue of a man and all those rights were washed away with habeas corpus during the FLQ crisis? In the advent of false flag 9/11, can we see where the CIA and certain elite family mafia bloodline syndicates entice their puppets into subverting the masses in the same hypnotic way they were lured in to be leaders? Think for yourself. Maybe this video and the poem will teach you something you don't know, or at least inspire you to get off YouTube because you just don't care about all this stuff, don't you? Either way, bless you. Justin Trudeau.
Hello, Growth Busters?
If you don't grow, you die. How do you always answer that?
Well, that's why I'm making this film, Chuck. The first step in recovering from addiction is admitting you have a problem.
We're setting ourselves up to suffer enormously.
It's not that I want the other guy to win. I am not I. That's the number 1 in Roman. I cannot think down on myself, but I want to be a 0. See, in Rome, they have no number for the whole of it all outside of a number.
The Pope is the Antichrist.
If I am 1, then who is 2? How can I even fulfill that whole integer of 1? If I make a mistake, am I fractioned? I question what we are doing with all of it. As I said, I'm not voting blue. You could suggest yellow, but what's in a color? We call oranges orange because it's their color. So I ask you this, what color is Justin? We can see he is red. That's an alarm for me because of my research. They may want me dead. You see, the Trudeau family is not so abnormal. 2 generations back, they made money. The son of a man who made riches was voted into the country, but a city he ruled, just like a king. All through and around the so-called FLQ crisis, habeas corpus was suspended to allow all the guns in the streets. Even to this day, it has not been reinstituted. Why, you might ask? Well, it was to allow for other religions. The people who farmed this country were certainly not Romans. Perhaps you can see, if I simply use colors and explain it all simple like you were a child, not that I think you are stupid or would want to act like Justin or his father by rumor, who like to laugh at others for their misfortune and intellect. Perhaps they believe we are not brothers. Where is Sasha, my cousin? Why does this path of red need to be walked by Justin? So this is not about Justin, or the opposition, or even the hungry. This is a warning about where we've been going. The train has no brakes. This is just a disclaimer for all of those out there who want to know the truth of the matter and where things lie with regards to the latter point of contention about whether there is a war going on, about what God you serve, and if you have faith. Justin Trudeau is my brother, and I wish him no hate. The Club of Rome is not sitting or standing or existing anywhere in this place. If your father pledged to it, and you do so also, I want you to know that even though you doth think it, does not quite make it so. The wish to bring false prophets out of the unknown into the known places where evil does not dwell, habeas corpus protected our bodies. When that was lifted, we lifted up out of protection and into a hue of a man, so to suffer perdition. They know not what they do, my Father in heaven, but you are but one and never two. From the Club of Rome website themselves, they give notice of the agenda. I most impartially quote, "The Club of Rome is an international think tank which addressed the public first in 1972 with the provoking report Limits to Growth by DM, and JR, to name a few. For the first time, computer-based models were used to describe sustainable and disastrous scenarios worldwide. The report started an intensive discussion about the future of humankind. Today, national associations of the Club of Rome, with altogether more than 1,800 members, are working on the world problematique, the complex set of interconnected problems facing humanity. Therefore, their works covers a wide range of themes from ecological to social and economic ones. Now, how neat! Following the tradition of the Club of Rome, which avoids administrative overhead, sometimes being called a non-governmental non-organization, the national associations are working as networks of active individuals. The center in Vienna coordinates their activities and assists in events and conducts projects in cooperation with the associations and the Club Secretariat General, which is located in Winterthur. Merry Christmas, everybody, from the Club of Rome. But I'm not the Club of Rome. The Club of Rome is what Pierre Elliott Trudeau swore to, or said that he pledges to the Club of Rome, because he had the license plate 666 when a media guy asked him why he had that license plate.